As a business, right, a few consumer insights actually evolved our business, and that's the origin story of us, right? The consumer insight is one, the consumer prefers choice, right? So we were one of those airline websites who had about 70% direct share, and we started recognizing that people wanted choice, consumers wanted choice, and they were going to OTAs. And we created an OTA out of our existing airline app and website with this consumer insight, right? Because if we don't stay relevant, if we don't offer that choice, they don't come to us, right? So that's the first consumer insight. And the second consumer insight is the travel preferences are evolving. Both flying preference, you might have a different flying preference and you might have a different booking preference, right? So you might still prefer to fly AirAsia, but you might want to book with somebody else. So what we want to do is to win in both areas. That's why we started to focus on building this AirAsia MOVE as an OTA, where we win the booking preferences of the users, and we always have the world's best low-cost carrier taking care of your flying preferences. The specific example would be the moment we started to offer choice, right? People appreciated that. Our hotel bookings are growing steadily, right? We are no longer seen as an airline website, and we have quite a few bookings for airlines that are not AirAsia as well. So people do appreciate the choice. Because we are kind of a spin-off from the airline, we've been operating in this region for many years right now, and we kind of carry that marketing culture, right? So there's one thing that doesn't work is to have a centralized team. So we do have team members spread across the region helping us with the localization. We do have specific local campaigns that we run to those specific markets, but we also have something called a mega sale, which we run across the region and simultaneously in all countries. But the creatives, the messaging, and everything is pretty localized and is created and run by the local marketers based in that market. So we are catching up on that, and that mega sale that we run every month for AirAsia MOVE has been a real business driver, right? We've seen it growing every other month, and we also have a unique product in our app called Messenger. It is a community, and we created a channel called Mega Sale, and people subscribe to it and they wait for the drops that we do on these mega sales. So we have about 100,000 people subscribing to that already. Of course, it performs well in our strong markets like Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, and Singapore, and Thailand. Not to mention Thailand is our biggest, one of the biggest markets out there. The other ones, we are getting there. The most challenging part, or the one that we overlooked, is the customer happiness part of it. Tackling the customer happiness for flights is one thing, but when you have so many services integrated, creating a customer experience and a customer service around it, we call it customer happiness. We want our customers to be happy. The team is working really hard to kind of address all those challenges that we came across. And what we've learned is that people sometimes just want assurance that we are working on it, and that goes a long way than solving it. And just acknowledging that yes, we are on your issue takes us a long way, right? So, but the customer experience is different for hotels. The customer experience and happiness is different for rides and everything, right? So, thankfully, we have now AI to help with that. We have a huge knowledge base, the questions, then the issues that we have over the years, and we're creating that, and we're putting a LLM on top of it, so that you can just have a conversation with it and then solve your problems as simply as just typing. Right now, our focus is to get the customer happiness sorted, right? So we're putting all our resources into it. Customer happiness board will not just be a service board. You can travel your trips. It generates itineraries, flight statuses, and everything. It will become your travel buddy eventually. So it is pretty successful so far, right? So well, we are the world's first web and app that spun off from airline, right? So airlines has been really generous to give away their most prized asset, and you have now a dedicated team just focused on improving the experience of the web and app. You have a dedicated team kind of figure out how I give additional services with that, right? So if it is a part of an airline, then that wouldn't really be the focus of it, because they have a lot more things to worry about. So that has been incredibly successful. We've seen our hotels bookings growing steadily. We have other airlines that are being booked from apart from AirAsia. We have other airlines that are being booked. So our revenues of non-AirAsia have been growing quite a bit. So I would say it's already a pretty successful step. Like I said, I think the consumers are pretty evolved right now. They know where they want to book. They know who they want to fly with. So I think they are pretty sorted in that sense. We haven't seen any issues so far to begin with. So yeah, I would say it's going to be a really smooth sail from here as well. It goes back to the partnerships, right? So all the global brands tries to already use the existing big platforms like Google, TikTok, and just Meta, right? Beyond that, it's very hard for them to kind of grow. But when it comes to Move, we have partnerships with tourism boards. We have partnerships with KOLs that we've been working for years right now, right? And we have partnership with a lot of other brands, right, that we work with. So those partnerships are pretty valuable. They bring different perspectives, and they also bring mass acquisitions for us, which global brands have a hard time, right? And we also have some subsidiary brands and adjacent sister brands like Eclipse focus on Muslim travel and stuff, which I don't think any global brand can tackle or crack that. I think I talked about it in the panel a bit, right? So it's more on the discoverability part of it, which is evolving very rapidly, right? So all the young generation starting their search in Shorts or TikTok or Instagram, right? So increasingly brands have to be present there. There are a few small brands that are being successful and taking that space because big brands aren't there right now. And the other one is how do we kind of see if we can create the transaction layer attached to that discovery part of it, is what we are working now. So we are working towards creating a social platform within our app as well. We already have a chat community which actually is generated based on your flights. Let's say if you're traveling, if you booked with our app, you're traveling 14 days before the flight, we actually create a virtual group of all the people who are flying in that flight with the flight number. You can actually chat with your passengers today, right? So which is already there, and we want to grow that community a lot more and then give them a peer-to-peer interactions that has been missing so far in this the virtual social world. I would say hiding the details of it, right? So and then I like the platforms who are transparent with what they offer, and that gives instant confirmations, right? So that's what I would go for.